Alright? Success. Alright, let's discuss some more things. So today we're going to be jumping right in. Let's discuss the meaning of life. Yeah, the last one was titled Life, but that was just the channel. That's what we're talking about then. Now we're going to be talking about actual life. What is the meaning? Well, it's a question many people ask themselves, always asking anything, everyone, just trying to figure it out because, who knows? You ask Siri, what is the meaning of life?
I can't answer that now, but give me some time to write a very long play in which nothing happens.
It's a possible answer. What is the meaning of life?
Life, the condition that distinguishes animals and plants from inorganic matter, including the capacity for growth, reproduction, functional activity, and continual change preceding death.
So, in the end, not one answer. And that's one of the hard things is you always ask, robots and stuff, what is it? And they have no idea. Siri also says 42, because that's reference to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The other one was living in peace and harmony with all nations of any creed and color. And that's a good part of life. But life really starts out with you. It's what you view, how you were going to make it. Because nothing is going to be good for you, or it's not going to be what you want unless, it all starts with you, as every subject. So where does that begin? Well, it begins with happiness. Life can suck. In most cases it does for people. Until, they meet the love of their life or whatever. Well, that's not going to work out unless you have some, happiness with yourself. And that's one of the things I think teenagers have a hard time dealing with. You get that punk rock phase, the rebellious phase, because happiness is hard. Because you have to be okay with yourself, and that's hard for a lot of people to do. Even me. And once you get, and the only way to have true happiness is to be okay with yourself so that you are able to, spread that. Because bringing joy to others brings a lot of joy to yourself. Because you're helping most people. Some people are psychopaths, don't feel that. Some people are selfish and it's all about them, but they enjoy having people look at them with that high, view. So, I don't know, that's a lot of it. I wrote down a definition once of, what happiness meant to me. I said, being okay with yourself to the point that you are able to look at the world in a positive way and see the beauty and joy in everything and everyone. And the part I didn't hit was everyone. Yeah, some people are going to be jerks. That's just life. Now, I can say from my own view, I don't really hate anyone because, why would you hate someone? Yeah, they got their quirks that are annoying, but everyone's got something that you're going to like about them. And yeah, maybe you can't stand being around them for more than 20 minutes. Well, don't be around them for more than 20 minutes. Just move on. You don't keep people in your life you don't like, because that's going to make you unhappy, and then you can't enjoy life. So, I don't know, there's people in my school who just, don't want to say I'm, superior in intelligence, but I do get most A's. I get A's in pretty much all my classes. And they, use me for helping them get A's. I'm alright helping some people, but when you're trying to help someone and they're like, I don't even want to learn, just give me the answer, well, I stop helping them. It's not like I'm just going to do it and then regret it later, hate them later. I just stop. I feel like people get into those conflicts more than they should because they don't even need to. It's just avoid that. It's hard, avoid. But then, people with different views, it's not like you want them in your life still, even though that may be what you don't like about them, because they're going to give you a different perspective on things. So that's happiness, be okay with yourself. You have to come to that understanding with yourself and be happy with who you are to be able to live life. So, using that, then you have to spread that to others. And I think a big part of life is, how you treat others, because treating others correctly and helping other people enjoy life is really important. A lot of people, the whole conservatives don't, give their money to charity because it's their money and they're selfish. And, liberals do. Like, okay, the whole politics issue of things is really stupid. That'll be a different episode. Because that's one in its own. But, there is that too. People who make a lot of money sometimes don't give back. Or they do, but not. It's to charities. And then you don't always see that as much, like the impact. Or they're just given to the big name charities, which, do stuff, obviously. I'm not saying they don't. There are a lot of, smaller name charities. At my church, this one guy came, he works with making water pumps out in villages in Africa. He's saving, countless lives. But he needs money because most people just give their money to the big name charities. And if people took time to really look at what doesn't get a lot of money as it is, but it's good foundation, bring that up. It's kind of like, some YouTubers, when they do their charities, give to, those names you've never heard of. Well, those people are going to do a lot of good. And yeah, I'm not saying don't give money to, St. Jude's and stuff. Do. That's still big. But, you got to look around and find that. And that's, yeah, a lot of life is, and a lot of people, I feel, nowadays just give money based on, or give based on money. Money isn't everything, guys. Money isn't going to bring you the happiness that you had before. Yeah, maybe it'll allow you to find stuff that will give you that happiness, but money can't buy happiness. It's a phrase people say. Well, it's true. Money can't buy friends. Friends bring you happiness because people who appreciate you, and that makes you feel good about yourself. And yeah, maybe people are around you for money, but that's not real friendship then. I feel like there's so much more I can talk about. And that goes into other things I want to discuss later. I feel like there's so much more to talk about, but I don't know. So life, for a lot of people, we'll talk about colleges too. They feel success. That's a big part of life. Being successful. Well, you gotta define what that means for you. Some people, it is just going to college. Doesn't matter what college. And then they get that, and then they get a job they can support for their family. And it's great. Some people can't do that. People where I live, do live in probably the top 1%. That's just where I am. So don't anybody hate on that. That's what I was born into. And I appreciate everything that I have. And I do. But a lot of people here, it's like, getting into Yale, Harvard, the best college. Well, what does that even mean is a good question. It's, a lot of it is, it's a definition of success. A lot of people feel they need to be in that, top name to get success. Oh no, you can go to any college. In my view, you go to any college that's not a community college to stand out. Well, you want to also go to colleges that have a lot of people, so you go to jobs and, they say, oh, I'm from yada yada, and in my example would be OSU, I live in Ohio. So it'd be like, 50-some thousand, because a lot, students, you're going to run into someone somewhere. That's just how that is. And a lot of people, I don't think, see it that way. A lot of life is about success, and that's a lot of things with school. People get stressed out about that, and they get stressed about their job, and people don't deal with that stress because they're trying to be successful. And a lot of people just push themselves, for that American dream, which I don't want to say doesn't exist anymore, but it's not as obtainable because not everybody is, starting out the same level. A lot of people start off lower, and it takes, forever to get there, if they do, or they just stay where they are. And that's what yes, life is about its success, but success can be anything. I mean, just finally being okay with yourself, that's a success. It's a big thing in life. A lot of people can't do that. You know, it's taking a week off and going on a mission trip to Africa to help build a water pump for people who don't have clean water. That's success. I mean, most people wouldn't do that, so that's, I mean, you're doing something different and helping people. I was going somewhere with that, and now I forget. What's wrong? Down. Oh, turn the internet off. Nice. I don't know. And for me, life is, I'm still trying to find that happiness. And I mean, it's not like I say, but that's kind of where I am with it. And yeah, I'm going to talk about stuff, and maybe I don't quite understand it. I mean, I am only 17, so who knows what I'm actually talking about. But I feel like young kids have a role to play in life. The innocence of kids brings a different perspective to some issues. My parents told me when I was in kindergarten, I was trying to tell them who to go talk to, or whose parent the one kid was. And I turned around and I said, oh, the lady in red. My parents, that doesn't sound weird. Well, this lady was black. And I'm going to use the word black because people say African American just to describe anybody who is black. And that's not, I'm just going to say black. The lady was black, and they're like, I wouldn't have described her that way. It's just those simple things, and you don't want to describe people based on color because it's literally just that. Anyway, different issues too I could talk about. But there's that innocence in a kid, and there was something on the news, I think, where this white kid shaved his head to say you couldn't tell us apart, and it was with a black kid. There's just this level that some kids don't see, but I don't think adults give kids that credit. Yeah, we haven't had experience, but maybe that's a good thing. I mean, it's a good thing to not have as much, censorship in our opinions. That's kind of why I'm doing this, because, I'm going to give a different opinion than anyone's parents are. And if you still right now are taking all of your parents' views and making them your own, or just using them, stop. You gotta look at life and create your own views. And that's what I've done. And okay, so the memory card was full, and it cut out. What I was saying though is, if you're still using your parents' views, and that's fine for the moment, but in the end, your parents aren't going to be with you for the rest of your life. It's just a fact. So if you're using their views, or still basing your views off theirs, you have to create your own views now. Because sitting in classes and Gov, we have to debate, political issues. And kids just, are conservative because the parents are liberal because the parents are. Do they even know what conservative liberal means? I don't think so. So, just with that stuff, you gotta create your own views. And that's part of life, is becoming yourself. So, life. Find happiness through yourself, and then give that happiness to others. Because it'll return to you and give you happiness when you see others happy, and then, help others. Because not only will that bring you happiness, that should not be your only reason. You are helping others find that happiness for themselves, or better their lives. Create your own views. Part of having a happy life is becoming yourself, and you have to be able to do that. So, I guess that, covers everything. More stuff to talk about in the future. One thing I didn't mention in the last video is, for the thumbnails for my videos, I don't want to make any of them, not because I'm lazy, don't worry, because I want you guys watching to make the thumbnails. So I'm just going to use whatever preset, one of the presets that YouTube gives me when I upload, and then, whoever ends up watching these can make them. If people watch it, I'm hoping people do. Because feel like, got stuff to talk about. It's interesting stuff, Haven't even gotten to the heated stuff, I am opinionated, so that's will be interesting. But join me for the next discussion.